Talk a little bit about the true cost of turnover. So I own a number of rental properties in central Indiana, and one of the biggest issues I face on my rental properties is turnover. At turnover, we lose rent and we start spending money on other things. Obviously, if I can keep a tenant in place, I avoid these costs. So I'm going to talk about and break down what some of these costs are. So the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to lose rent. So while it's vacant, you're not collecting rent. So that stings a little bit. And obviously on a rental property, you're going to have this time it takes to figure out what work needs to be done. You'll get approval to do that work and get it on the market. If you're quick on it, you might be able to get that done in a few weeks. If you delay and it's a bigger renovation or it takes a while to get approval, you could be looking at a couple months. So you're probably at a minimum losing 1 month's rent, maybe 2 or 3 if it's a big project or you're kind of dragging your feet on it. So if we look at it, your typical $1,200 rental, 1 month is going to be a loss of $1,200. If it takes 2 months, I'm already losing $2,400 in rental income. The next thing that's going to pop up is going to be what I call vacant property expenses. So those are going to include your utility expenses, lawn care while it's vacant. Although those can feel small individually, they can certainly add up. Over a month's time, utilities and lawn care can easily add up to $200 to $300. 2 to 3 months of vacancy, and you're at anywhere from another $600 to $900 in expenses just for this. After that, to get the property released, most property management companies are going to charge 1 month's rent to find a new tenant. A lot involved in doing that. It sounds high, but it probably makes sense when you think of everything that has to go into finding a new tenant. But there's another month's rent that I'm going to be paying for. So now I'm up to a couple months maybe of lost rent, maybe close to a month's expenses on those vacancy costs, now a month expense just to find a new tenant. And then depending on what kind of work needs to be done on the property, I've got to take care of this. This is where it can really get expensive. Depending on how well the resident took care of the property, depending on the property's condition before the resident went into place, I may have some deferred maintenance, I might have some upgrades I need to do during vacancy, and depending on how much security deposit I got and how much damage is left, I may be left with some expenses to get the property ready. So I could be anywhere from nothing to many months worth of expenses depending on deferred maintenance and upgrades that I might want to do on the property. Not uncommon for a property to go vacant and you easily, between your lost rent and your expenses, all of a sudden have anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 in expenses. If that's happening every single year, you're never going to make any money on your rental property. So trying to avoid the turnover, trying to avoid the vacancy, doing everything you can to keep a resident in place is a key to reducing those turnover costs. I'm going to make another video on how to retain tenants. Stay tuned for that.